For years, Star Citizen's combat has followed a similar, albeit gamey rule, the health pool. You shoot a wing until its hidden health bar hits 0, and it falls off in a predetermined way. You shoot the hull until the ship's hit points hit 0, and you guessed it, pop goes the weasel. But we've known this was a placeholder, and for the past good handful of years, CIG has dropped a few glimpses of the replacement mechanic in the form of the Maelstrom system. The first shot in the arm looks we had at the system was a somewhat simplistic terrain break in the Squadron 42 demo reel during the FPS segment, where the concrete barriers the player was hiding behind slowly break away from gunfire, and again in the Star Engine demo we saw the building destruction and fighter collisions. Right, well, so what is Maelstrom? Maelstrom is the new way to physically simulate damage layers, and unlike the games of old where damage is rudimentary, Maelstrom is physics-based, allowing materials to react in ways reflecting their real-world counterparts. Today we're breaking down Star Citizen's transition from hit points to physicalized armor, and how this tech will revolutionize ground and space combat. Currently, objects in the game that can be damaged have a hidden false armor or health value. This is reduced based on incoming damage from weapons or the environment, with different types of damage affecting different types of health pools or armor pools. Once this value is reduced to a set low value, it becomes non-functional. For example, if you shoot the wing of a ship, reducing these health points past a breaking point may cause it to detach, reducing flight characteristics and performance in a predetermined way. When Maelstrom is switched on, every part of the ship down to its bones will have physical properties, thicknesses, densities, and material type, and it's the qualities of these materials and how they overlap, what's behind them, or are they layered over different materials, that will govern the damage states of the objects going forward. This type of damage system helps cement ships into roles and starts the rock-paper shotgun approach to gameplay, allowing for greater diversification in fleet compositions, on-the-fly options, emergent gameplay, and tactical choice. It also layers the battlefield, making light fighters role-specific instead of being out-of-position headhunters. Players will need to start fighting smarter, smaller ships relying on larger craft to drop shields or expose weak points, and we know this to be true, as it's the basis of Tier 1, if you will, for the tactical strike missions now out to public in 4.8. Maelstrom will alter the current meta style of gameplay, shifting it to a more dynamically or situationally tuned one, based on target, mission or moment to moment, from who has the most DPS to who has the right tool for the job. The new Maelstrom tech isn't just for ships or vehicles. No, we're looking at a universal system for all objects in game: terrains, buildings, ships, trucks, tanks, cranes, space stations, and potentially even body armor, cybernetics, gear. Imagine the implications and possibilities. Allow me to paint a picture. You duck behind cover, a wooden crate or some thin metal sheet. Right now it's indestructible. No wafer thin cardboard box or drape of fabric will stop a literal missile. With Maelstrom, the crate will whittle and slowly break away under fire, letting damage through. Objects will explode on shelving units, liquids flying, paper shredding, as everything becomes destructible. But not in some uncontrolled, pre-scripted, semi-chaotic kind of way. With Maelstrom, damage is based on material types, just like in the really real world. Let me know if you got that reference. A quick example would be steel is stronger than paper, so too in Star Citizen, objects made from these will behave very differently to each other, and yet perfectly predictably. A railgun shot might punch a hole clean through concrete to hit a sniper hiding behind it, while a grenade might cause the ceiling of a bunker to partially collapse, altering the floor plan in real time. This unlocks many doors, figuratively in actuality. Imagine yourself strategically breaching a sealed objective. Instead of just opening the door, a boarding party could theoretically use a salvage tool or explosives to cut their own entrance through a specific weak point in an outpost wall. This is likely how boarding will happen with ships that don't support docking rings, and also how the Vanduul assault pods work. The Maelstrom system will give you options, but the key is repeatability and predictability with a new system like this. While the damage itself is controlled by the physics system, and it may seem chaotic as it's a damage where damage is applied kind of system, at the very basic level, it is kind of like bullet hole decals in many other FPS games. Material makeup, statistics, and settings is what's actually going to be causing the physicalized material breakdown on our ships and gear though. Damage still occurs based on the location of our hits, along with area of effect statuses such as fire, shockwaves, or whether it impacts or impedes special points on a ship's hull or internal systems like component bays and the such. The reality of a damage system like Maelstrom is it changes the physical geometry and underlying mesh, not just how we see it, and it's capable of doing this in real time, unlike the predetermined damage system of other games. It changes how objects are affected by the game engine's physics dynamically, without the need for new meshes or special rules. It makes me think, what else could a system that lets you in real time change the physical shape of an object correctly and interact with the world around it and be visible to yourself and anyone else around you do? Crazy theory time. If Maelstrom can procedurally break a mesh into pieces based on physical forces, why couldn't it be used to build or modify one? Could it lead to a freeform build system? What else could come from it? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like what you've seen, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one. Hooroo!